All right, so we're going to record this part. So we have y equals x squared minus 2x minus 8. And I don't just want to factor and solve for x. I also want to graph. So we're going to graph. Wow. I totally spelled graph wrong. There's no B. We're going to graph. And to do that, we're first going to factor and solve for x. So first step is let y equal 0. And we write 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 8. Now we want the generic rectangle and the diamond, or you could just call it the box and diamond, however you can remember it. Does anyone remember what goes in the corners? We put x squared and negative 8. And we'll multiply that. Negative 8x squared. That goes on the top of the diamond. And on the bottom of the diamond, we write negative 2x. What two numbers do we need to go inside the diamond? That's going to be a 4x and a 2x. Now, which one's negative? The 4 is negative. The bigger number sign carries over to the answer when you add. So negative 4x plus 2x equals negative 2x. We'll write that in the box. Sorry. That's really smudged. Okay. And that's an x. So now we need to find the side lengths of our box. So for negative 4x and x squared, their greatest common factor is x. I'll put an x here because x times x is x squared. I'll put a 2 here. X times 2 is 2x. And what can go here? Anybody want to give me a guess? We'll write negative 4. All right, so now we write our factored form equal to 0. We do x plus 2 times x minus 4 equals 0. Please write that down. Now we want to set it equal to 0 for both binomials. X plus 2 equals 0 and x minus 4 equals 0. And I want to find the opposite. To find x, I take the opposite. So we do x minus, the x equals negative 2. And over here we do the opposite. We get x equals 4. So my roots, negative 2 comma 0 and 4 comma 0. Now I said I want to graph it. I need more points than just the roots. I also need the y-intercept. Now the roots, that's another name for x-intercept. Y-intercept keeps its name. So to find the y-intercept, we use the original equation and plug 0 in for x. So we write y equals 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 8. And we get y equals 0 minus 8. So y equals negative 8. And as a point, we write 0 comma negative 8. So that's our y-intercept. All right, now there's one more point we need to find, and that's called our vertex. Okay, now the vertex is the point where this graph is going to bend. Just hang on, I know kids don't like this part. The formula for vertex is negative b over 2a. And some kids might freak out right away and say, well, where's this a and b stuff coming from? And I would say, hey, you remember our standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. The a is the number in front of x squared. The B is the number in front of X, and the C is the number that has no X at all. So in this example, our A is 1. When there's no number, there's an invisible 1. B is -2, and C is -8. We're going to use those numbers in our formula over there. Okay, let me go back over. So X equals -B over 2A. What that means is we write negative parentheses -2 over 2 times 1, which gives us a +2 over 2. Does anyone know what 2 divided by 2 equals? Well, it's 1, so X equals 1 in our vertex. Thank you so much, Regina. Yeah, it's 1. Now, we still need to find the Y. The vertex is a point. It has an X and a Y. We just found the X. For the Y, we need to plug in this 1 number into the equation. So we write 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 8. And we get 1 minus 2 minus 8. Okay, and we go from left to right. So 1 minus 2 is -1 minus 8, that's -9. So for the vertex, Y value is -9. Our vertex is 1, -9. So we have this point, our vertex, this point, our y-intercept, and these 2 points right here, which are our roots or x-intercepts. We're going to graph those points. And I know you're probably running out of room just like me, so I'm going to erase over here so we can graph it, okay? All right, thank you for your patience, boys and girls. So first, we're going to get this out the way. And here's my Y line. I should use a ruler. I'm sorry I didn't. I look at my points and I realize there's a lot of negative Y values, so I want to have a lot of room going down. So here's my Y line. Here's my X line. This is the origin, which is 0. Going to the side, I'm going to try to go to 5. And -5 over here. Going down, I'm going to try to get to -10 since I have a -8 here and a -9 on the vertex. Oh, cool. I was able to go all the way to -12. Now, let's put those dots there. The first dots I will do, or the first points, are for the coordinate -2, 0, and 4, 0. So -2, 0 is here. Just go to the left 2, since it's negative. You go up nothing, since there's a 0 on the Y. 4, 0, we go to the right 4, we go up nowhere. And then our y-intercept is at 0, -8. So we start at 0, go down to -8, put your dot. And our vertex is at 1, -9. So we go to 1 and go down to -9. So this here we have 4 points, and we can sketch a graph for our equation. And some of you might be wondering, hey, why aren't there any numbers up here? So let's put a 1. There you go. But here we have it. We have our root, -2, 0. Our other root, 4, 0. If you want, you can label it. That would be helpful for some of us. That's -2, 0. And this is 4, 0. We have our y-intercept right here at 0, -8. And we have our vertex right here at 1, -9. And if anyone ever asked you, hey, what's the axis of symmetry? That means, hey, where can I bend it? And if you wanted to, you could bend this parabola right along here, okay? and the axis of symmetry is at x equals 1? I don't plan to ask you that, but you might see that in algebra 2. All right, and so we just drew a graph without a table.